Most of you watching this are videographers, and I guarantee you either A, have made a music video, or B, you will in the future, because that's kind of just the rite of passage as a videographer. Is you will end up making some low budget music video. But today I wanted to break down one that I did recently that I had so much fun on, and not only was it a low budget so we didn't have a lot to work with, but I also got it done in like one day. I guess I didn't get it edited in one day, but it was planned and filmed in one day. I guess it also wasn't one day, it was 24 hours total, but it was 2 days. So I guess 1.5 days.
You ready?
I am.
Boss man?
It was a long day yesterday.
I bet, bro. You were
I planned the whole thing yesterday, so.
We're here. Tell them where we at.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
God damn.
It's the first point ever.
Like the initial point.
God.
Oh.
So I kind of wanted to just explain the BTS of this video as well as some tips for shooting your own music videos. And I'm going to break this down into finding inspiration, making a theme for your video, getting creative shots, and then mixing these artist personality into the video, because I personally think that is super important. And that's something I feel like sometimes people miss when they film with smaller music artists, is they don't put their personality into the video. Yesterday I posted this video, so if you want to watch the full thing, I do recommend it. It's not super long, and then that way this video will make more sense. But first things first, let's talk about finding inspiration. And this is broken down into a couple things, but number one is meeting with the artist. Gavin and I met before we even had the idea of a music video. We had kind of talked about it a little bit, and then he shows me the song. It's called a kill track, which means it has no chorus. It kind of just runs through lyrics, just a short song. But he was like, all right, I have this song, it has no chorus, it's kind of just hard all the time, what can we do? And I was like, all right, well, kill track, usually I would think something harsher would be like a black and white video, something that's super rich blacks and super harsh whites, and the music video is harsh because the song is very harsh. And we liked the idea, and then we kind of thought about, what if we made it saturated, but again, very harsh colors, which I'll get into later, but if you watch the music video, you know that that's kind of how it went, like 50-50. But number two was after we sat down and we kind of got a couple ideas going, like maybe we want to do something that's a little more harsh. We don't really want to have a crazy storyline, it's more so just performance scenes. We then watched a ton of music videos. You want to be able to pull inspiration from other people, and there's going to be a lot of ideas that you would not have thought about. So just watching a ton of them, saving them, maybe even time stamping, like, oh, I really like this shot from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, let's incorporate that. Screenshotting, screen recording, whatever it takes. Just watch a ton of music videos and get a ton of inspiration. You can also use something like FrameSet for this. So I would watch music videos, but if I had a vision in my mind and I couldn't think of how I could find a music video with that, I would go onto FrameSet, which is a subscription-based service, but I believe you can go on there for free. You just can't save them, but you could just screenshot them. I mean, that would work. But after that, I took all my screenshots, screen recordings, and I put them into a Milanote. I could break it down into kind of a timeline, as well as the deliverables, the gear list, the shot list, the location scout, just putting it all in one place. And it was super helpful because I could put together a shot list and put in those screenshots so I could visually see while I'm on set what I want to get and how I want it to flow. So looking at my shot list right now, as you can see, it's super simple. There's probably a couple recognizable shots in here. We have some from The Hangover. We have another one from a super popular music video. So I put everything in line, and then I have some notes on what the actual shot is going to be, as well as the duration, because if you are shooting something that is super duration based, you want to make sure that you get the correct amount of time, because the worst thing, and it's happened to me, it probably happened to you, is you're filming something and you planned this shot to take up 5 seconds, but you only shot it for 3, and then you run out and now there's gaps in between. So doing timestamps does help a little bit. But then finally we have which camera I'm shooting, and for this I use the Blackmagic 6K Pro. I actually rented it because I'll mention it later, but I wanted to go super heavy into colors, and that 14-bit RAW was absolutely necessary. That was honestly most of the pre-production. We went out and location scouted a little bit, literally the day before the shoot. I've been sending the locations to the group chat. So now currently there's like 6 different locations. So it'll be kind of a fun game tomorrow to see who pulls up where, and then just really delay the production and get nothing done and actually tank the production and actually not get the video done. Probably be ideal. But now we're just gonna, we basically just went out into the middle of nowhere multiple times, and then we drove and then went out more into the middle of nowhere until we found a spot with a giant hill, which I thought was absolutely perfect because especially for that running scene, I wanted there to be kind of like a destination where they were running to. As you saw in the video, he also ends up being on that point, so that was perfect. But that was basically it. The whole pre-production, it was super simple, super fast. I shot listed a little bit, but nothing crazy. And yeah, so let's move on to the second part, which is developing a theme for the video. So as I mentioned earlier, this was a very harsh song, and we had the original idea of going with black and white. However, I didn't really love that, and neither did he, because the idea we had kind of come up with was we would be shooting in the day in a field, so that means we're not going to be able to take advantage of blue sky or green grass because everything's in black and white. So instead, we focus on using extreme primary colors. The whole theme of the video is broken down into three parts. We have primary colors, so as you can see, this is like the greens, the blues, the reds, simple colors all put together. Then the second one was black and white, because there was some harsh alleyway night scenes where I was like, okay, this actually does look super good in black and white, and it really represents the feeling I'm trying to give. And then the last thing was like singular colors. I wanted it to feel like a dream world. I didn't want it to feel like it was your normal world, because as you can see in the opening shot, he's burying something, and that automatically makes you think like, okay, where are we? And then the second shot, he's running in the middle of a field, gets tackled, and you're like, okay, where are we? What is going on? So I just wanted to set this stage of like, this world is not real. And then the third thing was getting creative shots. And this was basically, we're gonna shoot most of this in one day, and then I will add a little bits and pieces on later. So I'm just gonna make it just cut on the beat. The beat is very like bob your head type, and so that's kind of the goal. And I'm gonna have like 3 people rolling, usually at a time, some on the HVX, some on the camcorder, and then someone on like the S3, and then someone on the FX6, so things like that. That way there's always multiple different forms of media, so I can cut through back and forth. So we went into the studio, and this is where I could shape light and do everything I wanted to fully manipulate the scene. And as you can see, I did a couple scenes with the super harsh side lighting with the close-up of the mouth, which I think is an absolute banger of a shot. I think that is literally perfect for what I wanted. It came out absolutely amazing. And then the next one was that rotating circle. I actually didn't plan on rotating it when I was filming, but I saw that, okay, we have like a perfect circle. Maybe to add a little bit more movement to the shot, I could just have it spin. And I think it turned out well. I liked that he was kind of dancing, and then you couldn't really see him because there was a shadow. And it's funny because that shot, the actual real framing looked like this, and then I had to stretch it to make it look like a circle. And if you watch the music video, you can tell it's actually not a perfect circle. Couldn't really get it to look right, but I mean, it looks good enough. So overall, I wanted to get more creative shots, and even while we were shooting, I'm so thankful that I have the ability to have my friends come on set and help me. And so we had multiple different cameras. We had the HVX, which is such a cool look. It's like if you were to picture a dream world, especially the one that this was set in, that would be the camera that would be used. It looks amazing. And then the secondary thing was using VHS cameras, because those just help break apart this good looking mirrorless image. And I know that with the Blackmagic, it was a little bit destroyed and it didn't look super clean, but having a VHS really helped separate it, and I could bounce back or use it to cut right in between shots. So I really just wanted to prioritize, since this video had no storyline and we're just relying on basically just as much B-roll as I can and hoping that I can find a shot to put in these little cuts. I just wanted to shoot as much as we could on as many different cameras as we could, just to add a ton of differences in each frame. And then another little extra tip I have is I wanted to show the artist's personality. I've known Gavin forever. We've done a couple videos together, and his music is just very fun. It's not super serious. It's not hard rap where he's flexing or he's talking about guns or whatever. It's just fun. Like if you listen to the words of this song and his other songs, a lot of them are just talking about how he just likes to rap. He likes to make music. He doesn't care what you think. He also plays himself down a little bit, talking about how he's a certified yapper. And so I just wanted to make it a fun music video, having him just in the middle of nowhere, especially that little opening scene where he's hitchhiking, he gets in the van, he's rapping, it's 1 p.m., nobody cares. And then it jumps to 11 p.m. and everyone's vibing with him. That was just the perfect representation of him as an artist. Is like, maybe in the beginning you don't really know how you feel because he's a smaller artist. You start listening to his stuff and you're like, okay, this dude's fire, let's all bump with him. I like that there was a little bit of a storyline in that one little section, but other than that, there was none. If you're the videographer, You don't want to make it solely your vision, especially if it's less of a budget and they're putting all the creativity onto you. You want to make sure that you're showing them as an artist and you're helping their style be conveyed to the audience. But that was just a super simple breakdown. I just made this music video a while ago and I thought I might as well explain it because it's a cool video, it's super fun, and we did it in like a day and a half. I know that the title will probably say 1 day or 24 hours, but there's a little more, but give me a break. It was, the sleeping doesn't count, so we just take out the sleeping and then it's 24 hours. And I have a couple other music videos if you guys are interested. Another one I also shot in not even 24 hours, I shot it in like 5. And this is just a super simple breakdown, super easy for me to do. It's not scripted or not a crazy setup. Thank you all for the support. The video last week was so fun interviewing Jake, absolutely crazy. So go check that out. It's an hour long, but I promise if you do any type of videography, you will gain something from that video. So please go check it out. But I will see you all next Tuesday. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, thank you all for watching. You wanna drive?
Yeah, I got you.